Welcome to this week's episode of For Fantasy's Sake, Halloween edition.
Yep, in this episode we'll be having some spooky themed segments for everyone, including some scary players, maybe some ghosts of the year, and doing our usual Attaboy trades and everything else. So be ready and let's jump right into the spooky episode. Now, before we jump into everything Halloween themed, we're going to be going over some trades this week. Once again, a little bit of a slower week in trades, but there's a couple big ones. We're going to go over two.
Yep.
Jake sends over Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Alex Collins, and a 7th round pick.
Wow.
To Sean for just DK Metcalf and an 8. Now, it
That's
seems
an interesting
like
trade.
a lot. It's a lot that Sean gets. Sean already has a pretty good team.
Sean's got a really good team.
A well-rounded team. So this trade doesn't hurt him that much, giving up DK.
He's getting a lot of depth,
Jake
which he kind of needed.
He does, yeah. And Jake had the depth. So
exactly.
I don't blame him. I think it's a good trade for both of them. Of course, Jake is giving up a lot, but Alex Collins won't be the starter for long. No. Judy's just come back from injury. We don't know what he's going to be like.
Yeah,
Cooper for DK isn't terrible. So, I think it's a decent trade.
I like it. Next, we have a trade between Sean and Russell. Sean obviously has trades every single week. Russell, not too many this year.
Very quiet.
So we have Sean trading away Leonard Fournette, Mike Gesicki, up-and-coming tight end, as well as Robert Woods, who's been on the move the last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
As well as an 11th round pick in exchange for Zeke, Dawson Knox, and a 12th. I like that trade. Two good running backs getting traded, and two solid tight ends, both who have been pretty solid fantasy-wise.
No, yeah,
I like it.
Definitely, I like it too. Now we're going to be jumping into our close games in Week 8. Johnny versus Sean. That was a real nail-biter.
Oh, my God. That Seattle game, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, especially after DK. He had 84-yard touchdown.
He was against DK.
Oh, my God.
Kamara, and was there someone else?
The defense. He had Seattle defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
DK had an 84-yard touchdown. Very close game. Johnny wins by less than 7. It was 120.95 to 114.10.
Oh, my God.
So do the math.
It was a nail-biter.
It's 6 points.
Yeah.
5 points. And then the next one would be Sophia versus Russell, an even bigger nail-biter.
Yeah.
Russell had Jason Myers, who booted a 50-yard field goal and put him within 3 against Sophia.
Yeah.
123 to 120 was the final. Russ was a 40-yard field goal away from taking the victory.
Really frustrating for him.
And then,
beating the number 2 team.
Yeah, the number 2 team would have been a big flex.
And
she didn't have an amazing week this week, although she's been getting those wins. I mean, respect to her. Once again, shout out Soph. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Biggest blowout of the week. This one is unfortunate because it's one of our associates at
one of our
Water Cooler
members.
Talk.
Frustrating.
Alex,
it's okay.
I'm sorry, but you got blown out by Jake.
Yeah.
40.
The pup got beat this week.
43 points.
That was rough.
And I mean, if you want to hear his opinion on it, go to our TikTok because we'll probably be filming his opinion on his fantasy season so far.
Yeah.
He's one of our newest associates on the channel, so be on the lookout for him in future videos as well.
Yeah.
But for this week, I mean, he got beat.
Him. Yeah. Moving forward, we have Attaboy, players who had impressive performances. Just going to give him a little pat on the back. First, we have Khalil Herbert, clearly establishing himself as the number 2 back and in the Bears offense, putting up great numbers for a backup, respectfully. He had 18 rushes for 100 yards, no touchdowns, but he also had 5 catches, which was pretty good for PPR and half PPR.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And 33 receiving yards along with that.
Yeah. And my guy, everyone knows I like Nick Chubb. He's one of my favorite. He's my favorite running back in the league. Fantasy-wise, he's probably one of my favorites in the league as well. And he was hurt for the past 2 weeks. Now, so is Kareem Hunt. So who do you think is going to step in?
Yeah.
Dearness Johnson. Oh, that's just a backup running back. He'll probably get a couple carries or whatever. No big deal. No, he got 146 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 2 receptions for 22 yards.
Pretty impressive.
As the 3rd string running back. on Thursday night against a Broncos defense that has been renowned as pretty good this year.
Yeah.
So, hats off to him. And I'll definitely say attaboy because he can keep it up if Chubb gets hurt in the future. Hunt's on the IR, so if Chubb gets hurt, Johnson's next up. Now it's time for our Halloween segments where we have these planned for you guys for the season. So we're going to be going over our scary players that you've been facing so far this season.
Yeah, you don't want to go against these guys.
100%. So number one is the obvious pick. You don't want to face him in real life just as much as you don't want to face him in fantasy. Derrick Henry.
The king.
He has 11 total touchdowns, one of them passing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost already
He's that good. He doesn't even need to run anymore.
Yeah, he almost has 900 rushing yards in only 8 games. No, 7 games.
7 games.
Because he hasn't played. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he also has 2 30-point games and 1 45-point game as well as a 25-point game. I mean,
that's absurd.
That's like most, and then the rest of them are just 16, 15 points. Like, he's just been insane. Yeah. I wouldn't want to go up against him. He's a nightmare. Number 2, although he started off a little bit slow, he's been going off just dominantly. Oh, Josh Allen of the Bills.
Without a doubt.
Even with the loss against Tennessee last week, he had 32. The week before that, 43.
Yeah.
At one point, he had 42 as well, and then 22. I mean, he's just that quarterback. He can run. He can throw. He's strong. He's big. He's scary in real life, just as we said before with Henry. He's also scary in fantasy because he can do both. He's multifaceted. 2 rushing touchdowns, 15 passing touchdowns, only 3 picks, over 2,000 yards. Total,
really?
2,000 total yards.
Wow.
He's already dangerous. And our final guy for this year, he's a surprise pick because you wouldn't normally see that. He was the slot guy for the first couple of years on his team. But Cooper Kupp, he's been having an unreal year. He's already has 162 fantasy points in half PPR leagues.
That's crazy.
Guess what he was projected to have all year? 171.
Really? That's it?
He's 9 points away from breaking that.
Wow.
He
that's
has
crazy.
810 receiving yards, 9 receiving touchdowns on 56 receptions. He's been unreal. His first 3 weeks have been 20-plus points. And then his past 2 weeks have been 29-plus. He is
That's
horrifying.
really crazy.
You do not want to go up against these 3 players.
Not at all.
But on one end, they're scary players. On the other end,
you got some ghosts. The ghosts of the year. First, we have Christian McCaffrey. Not because of his playing ability. We know how good he is. But he can't stay on the field.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy.
So there's no points to be made there. So Chris McCaffrey is obviously a ghost. He's not on the field, so there's no points. So he's going to be on your bench.
IR and injury report, yeah.
Next, we have Julio Jones, only really putting up 1.5 good games this season.
Yeah, not even.
Kind of, you don't want to start him because of how inconsistent he is, and he's out this coming weekend for week 8. It's frustrating because when he got traded, you thought he was going to be a really good player in terms of fantasy. He's a huge option for Ryan Tannehill, but fantasy-wise, not a great option. Definitely wouldn't start him consistently, obviously.
I wouldn't say so, yeah.
And finally, we have Mahomes. Looks like he's been seeing ghosts out there all season, leading the league in interceptions as of now.
Of course, some of them have been unlucky.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, I mean, he's been an absolute ghost just because of some of the plays that the Chiefs' offense normally makes they don't. So it makes him look bad. So fantasy-wise, he looks like, Yeah,
I know. But, I mean, in most of the games, he's putting up good numbers. But, like, last week, had an awful week.
It was a tough week.
Did not put up good numbers against Tennessee, which was surprising. You really thought they were going to take advantage of that defense. Yeah. That's my ghost of the year.
Yeah. And up next, we also have our standings and power rankings. Quick shout out once again to Sophia. She now takes over the number 1 spot in power rankings, not in standings.
Yeah, Sean's taking the L.
Sean and Sophia, they're going to be flip-flopping the next couple weeks, and I might be coming up there. I'm number 3 on both of them, so
we'll see how that goes.
We'll see what happens. We're going to talk about this later in our matchups, but I might be playing one of them this week.
Really?
Yep. Now we'll be jumping right into our to start or to bench. These are players that, based on their matchups this week, you really want to start them, or maybe you'll consider just dodging them this week. So, Johnny, you want to get us started?
First, I'm going to go with Joe Mixon against the Jets. Joe Mixon's having a really solid season. He's able to stay on the field, which is a huge plus for him. Shows he has consistency, and the offense is running really well. So him or a I believe it's Sammy Pirine. Both
Samaje Perine.
Yeah, Samaje Pirine. Both solid starts. I would obviously start Joe Mixon ahead of him because he gets more touches. But if you have a flex player or if you're really in a crunch, you can get Sammy Pirine. I like both of them as a start for this week against the Jets, who have been playing pretty bad football.
Yeah, run defensively.
Yeah. And for my second start of this week, I'm going to go with any Ram versus Houston. Mainly Cooper Kupp or Darrell Henderson. Both have been playing out of this world, and I think they are the perfect start against a really poor Houston defense.
Yeah, smart. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown versus Indianapolis. That's a key start for me. Indianapolis defense has been great throughout the past couple years, actually.
Yeah.
But, their secondary kind of has a couple no-name players, and Justin Blackman just went down with a torn Achilles, so that's a big blow to their secondary. He's a decent player. And A.J. Brown's finally starting to get healthy this year. He got a lot of targets. He had 133 yards and a touchdown last week against the Chiefs defense. But, he's going to get a bunch of targets now again with Julio Jones out this week. So we're going to see A.J. Brown, and he's probably going to do pretty well. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't recommend sitting him ever.
No.
But this is a must start for me.
Oh, yeah.
Now, next up, in the same game, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor against Tennessee. Their run defense has been terrible.
Yeah.
All year. I mean, every running back against them, other than the Chiefs, ironically, last week, have just been doing really well. I mean, even when they played the Jets, every running back had at least like 6 or so points. Everyone that got touches. So, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he's the receiving option as well.
The number 2 back in fantasy right now.
Number 2 back in fantasy right now. That's really good. So, I would give him the start against a Tennessee defense with a bunch of holes, honestly.
And for my sits, I want to go with Jalen Waddle against the Bills. Although he is the number 1 option in Miami, I don't think that offense is going to be producing very well this week against a really tough Bills defense.
Oh, yeah. Number 1 in the league.
Yeah, exactly. They're number 1 in the league right now, and Jalen Waddle is literally the only option they go to. They don't really go to Preston Williams or Devontae Parker as much, so they're going to be trying to target Jalen Waddle, but I honestly don't think it will be there. So I think he's going to get the bench for me this week.
Yeah, they also have speed in the secondary, so Waddle wouldn't be able to get them there.
Exactly. My second bench for this week, I want to go with Damian Harris against the Chargers. Kind of a surprise because Damian Harris has been putting up 2 back-to-back really good games, one of 20-plus and one of 12-plus. I like him in the future, just not for this week against a Chargers defense who's looking to bounce back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They look... And the Chargers defense is young, so they have a lot to develop on. But they also have Linval Joseph right in the middle. I mean, he's always been pretty good against the run. And they have a bunch of young stars. I mean, so we'll see how that goes with them. Tillery in the middle with Notre Dame guy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's pretty good as well. Now I'm going to go with my sits. I'm staying in the Chargers game. I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers. Okay. He hasn't had a touchdown all year.
No.
I don't think it's going to be this game. It could be. I could be wrong. But, when you don't have a touchdown your whole career, hopefully for him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the sit this week because that's an amazing secondary. Mac Jones will find ways to win without targeting his number 1 guy. Jacoby Myers might just be that number 1 guy, other than maybe Hunter Henry. I don't know. But I feel like he spreads it out too much to just start Jacoby Myers. And, I mean, if you're in a real crunch, maybe give him this go. But he's not like A.J. Brown. I'll never tell you to bench A.J. Brown. I'll definitely tell you to bench Jacoby Myers in this week against a young and solid defense, honestly. And then next up, this is a surprising pick. Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin?
He has a he is a very big hamstring injury. And it's been a big deal. He was about to not play last week. And he ended up playing. I forget which team he even played against, the football team. I don't know.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I can't recall. They were a bad team. Denver, they mean business. They have 4 cornerbacks that are just... Actually, everyone in their secondary just looks amazing.
Yeah,
Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, those are the 2 safeties. Then you have Pat Surtain, who's just amazing as a rookie.
Yeah,
and
playing lights out.
There's Kyle Fuller as well.
Yeah.
And then you also have Bryce Callahan in the slot. Now, Terry McLaurin, I'm not going to say that to bench him because he's going to suck, but don't expect him to be your wide receiver 1. I mean, honestly, if you're going to play him this week, I'm pretty sure that Denver's defense, they're going to try to figure it out, at least in the past. They haven't been good against the rush, clearly, with Dearness Johnson going off against them last week. So it looks like the football team, if Gibson is healthy, they're probably going to give him more looks than Terry McLaurin. McLaurin is always one to make, the great passes and everything. And I know it's very controversial saying to bench potentially one of the top 20 receivers in the league. Top 15, but he's a little hurt right now, and a hamstring injury is serious. Julio Jones has been dealing with that all year, and he's a good receiver. So, I don't know, with the injuries and with the secondaries going up against and with the defensive situation, I would maybe consider benching him for possibly a better option matchup wise. I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comments below, of course. I know it's a very bold take, so don't come in with torches and pitchforks. I know.
It's
but
okay.
If he goes off, I'm wrong. But if he doesn't, that's just, we laid it out for you. So, don't take it too personally. Now we'll be going over our waiver wire pickups for this week.
All right.
Very significant bunch. I don't know. Who would you like to get going with?
Waiver wire pickups. I want to have Jameis Winston.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, a stud quarterback. I mean, who's he playing this week? I think he's playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
From what I believe they're playing Tampa
for
Bay.
a backup quarterback. For a backup quarterback to have him on your bench, like I would definitely consider starting Jameis Winston. Yeah. If you need him for a bye week.
Oh yeah. I don't want him to be your starter going forward.
Yeah.
But if you need on a bye week to plug and play,
definitely.
I think he's a good option.
Yeah, no. And then moving on to another quarterback. We just talked about him in our sidelined episode. I'm talking about Tua Tagovailoa. He has been pretty good. Of course, he's against the Bills defense this week. And
so it might get ugly.
Same thing as Jameis Winston. It's a tough matchup for this quarterback this week. It's ironic that we're telling you to pick him up, but
he might be a stash.
He's been solid, going
forward.
And it's a stash going forward. And it might be a surprise to you guys, but moving forward, he seems like he's growing in confidence. So you never know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
Also moving on, another one that's a surprise is the Chicago Bears defense. They're rostered in 27% of all leagues, and they've been doing solid this whole time. 27% of all leagues, and they've had 30-point games on defense. A 30-point game. I mean, that's something that you don't normally overlook. But they're rostered in more than half leagues, so I would definitely consider picking them up for this week.
Yeah, another one, Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, yeah.
We just found out that Miles Sanders is going on the IR short term. Could be long term, but minimum of 3 weeks as of right now with the ankle sprain. So Kenneth Gainwell, who's already been in the game plan the last couple weeks, I just think he's a great option, great receiving option. Could be your plug and play in the flex, potentially if you really need it as a running back too. But I think he's a great option moving forward.
Yeah. And finally, I'm going to go with Khalif Raymond of the Detroit Lions. We have been suggesting Detroit Lions receivers all year.
Yeah, and it hasn't been working out.
And none of them have worked out. We're going to keep taking shots. You know what? Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There's potential.
Raymond, but the thing is, Jared Goff finding guys. Khalif Raymond has been relevant in the Detroit Lions all year.
Without doubt.
At least a somewhat amount. St. Brown goes up and down. Quintez Cephas up and down. All them. But Khalif Raymond has been getting decent targets, and Jared Goff just recently compared him to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, to Cooper Kupp, which is crazy.
I wouldn't say Cooper Kupp superstar-wise, but
no, but he has the speed.
Jared Goff played with Cooper Kupp,
yeah.
So he knows what Cooper Kupp's going to be playing, like his play type, his personality, all that stuff. And if Raymond is anything like Cooper Kupp, I would definitely consider having him at least on your bench.
Stash him.
If Jared Goff is going to start to like him, he's going to be that target. And why not take a wide receiver one on a team,
Yeah, exactly. 2 back-to-back games of pretty solid play. He's getting 21% of target share right now, which is really high.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Very, very high. So that's promising going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And now finally, for to end our episode, we're going to be going to our spooky, scary matchups this week.
Oh, yeah.
These are definitely ones that you're going to want to
get your popcorn ready for, guys.
Yep, for sure.
Make sure you get ready.
These ones, I'm going to start off with the big one this week. This is the one that I talked about. I'm in third place. I might be playing a top 2 team this week. And of the top 2, it's going to be me versus Sophia. I know the obvious headline is going to be girlfriend versus boyfriend.
Yep.
She's very competitive. I'm very competitive.
Very, very competitive.
And she's turned it up this week. I'm very happy to see a really good matchup between second and third place so far this year.
Yeah.
Who knows what can happen later. But, 2 top 3 teams in the league, what could go wrong? Especially Halloween weekend. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This is definitely a scary matchup for one of us if we come out with the L.
What else do we have?
Next up, we have Jake versus Miller.
Oh, I like that matchup. A lot of trash talk between Jake and the chat, not just with Miller, but with everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Jake's one that definitely takes some shots at people, so I like this matchup going
Yeah,
forward.
Miller's pretty quiet until he comes out to the end.
He's sneaky. Like, he'll beat you and then he'll come at you.
Yeah, exactly. And the final one, number 3. The only reason I have it at rank number 3 and not 1, because these two, they trash talk all the time. But he is 3rd in his division. Sean versus Alex.
Oh.
Sean is in first place in the standings. Alex is last in his division. So I would rank them number 1, honestly.
Yeah.
But number 1, trash talking. Definitely, that's gonna be a fun
number
one.
1 without a doubt in trash talking.
2 big names.
They
in
don't
the league.
stop all week
100%.
long.
Yeah, 2 big names in the league. Alex is definitely fighting for a playoff spot in a
Oh,
very
yeah.
strong division with me and Jenny in it.
Yeah, that is a very
And
strong division.
Sean's looking to stay number 1. Thank you for watching this Halloween edition of For Fantasy's Sake with Johnny and Noah. I am Noah.
And I'm Johnny. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know any thoughts down in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow the Twitter right here, League of Beast 21, as well as our TikTok, Water Cooler Talk 21, right here.
Yep, we're going to be uploading daily, probably daily TikTok videos, honestly. Keep you guys entertained. Anything fun, everything, NFL, NBA, possibly MLB in the future, movie, music, anything you guys want eventually. All that stuff related, just leave us down in the comment section below. Tell us what you want, and we'll be providing it to you. Take care, everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. See you next week.